welcome to Freedom's Eve once again. Now, I just want to take this opportunity to welcome to the platform Dr. Tamara Butler, okay? As a teacher-educator, Dr. Tamara Butler draws upon lessons learned growing up on Johns Island, South Carolina. Dr. Butler serves as the Executive Director of the Avery Research Center for African American History and Culture, and is the Associate Dean of Strategic Planning and Community Engagement for the College of Charleston Libraries. In May 2023, Dr. Butler served as a community educator for the Johns Island Preservation Field School in collaboration with Clemson University's Historic Preservation Program, and has served as South Carolina State Commissioner for the Gullah Geechee Cultural Heritage Corridor Commission since 2022. In February 2022, the Post and Courier named her one of 12 Black leaders to know in South Carolina. If you would please join me in welcoming Dr. Tamara Butler to the podium with a round of applause. Good afternoon. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. So I'm going to double time. So I'm going to do this first welcome as a commissioner. So I want to say welcome. I stand as a Black woman from Johns Island, a place where Black women and men taught and prepared me for a moment such as this. I think of the late Mrs. Janie Hunter, who knew that we would come seeking our roots and proclaimed that, quote, maybe the future will bring back the past, end quote. It is our collective responsibility to bring the past forward. In Freedom Dreams, Robin D. G. Kelly writes, there are very few contemporary political spaces where the energies of love and imagination are understood and respected as powerful social forces, end quote. I agree, and that is why this space, these Black shores, these Black shoals, communities along the Atlantic Ocean is so unique, so sacred, so special. It is love and imagination that drives our charge as commissioners from Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas to recognize, sustain, celebrate the invaluable history and contribution of Gullah Geechee peoples, assist in interpreting our story, preserving our historical sites, folklore, arts, and music, and assist in identifying and preserving for the benefit and education of the public. Today's celebration is our charge in action, and I welcome you, each of you, to this experience. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So at this time now we're gonna come back with Dr. Tamara Butler, and she's going to give us the occasion and the purpose for today. Let's welcome her back. Told y'all I was gonna be back. Thank you so much. So I'm here to do a little history lesson of sorts. So what does it feel like to wait? What do you do when you are called to wait for liberation? What do we say when freedom, liberation, and emancipation simultaneously knock at your door? Our ancestors dreamt answers daily for centuries. They plotted it out in their prayers, enacted them in their moves towards marronage. They saw it in their painful choices of infanticide, homicide, and at times suicide. Freedom became more than a state of mind in 1862. Freedom as a state of being felt closer. So on December 31st, 1862, our ancestors secretly gathered, remembered that their God, their ancestors, and their guardian spirits had brought them a mighty long way, and freedom was just on the other side of midnight. What brought us over would keep us on the other side of freedom. President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863 ordered the immediate freedom of all enslaved people living in territories controlled by the Confederate States of America. Unfortunately, this excluded about 48 counties known as West Virginia. This included a very small number of enslaved people in areas captured by the Union Army, like Beaufort, South Carolina. Through telegraph, news of the Emancipation Proclamation reached Charleston by mid-January 1863. In the words of local historian Nick Butler, no relation, quote, "More than anything, the Emancipation Proclamation was a powerful rhetorical gesture, an executive order committing the collective of the United States to the cause of ending the practice of slavery," end quote. Because freedom came first to the enslaved people of Charleston in February 1865, when the Union Army occupied the city and then spread throughout the rest of the country. And because we have been waiting patiently on the promise of freedom since 1863, Charleston's Black community organized large public celebrations between 1865 and 1866. The first being on March 21st, 1865, to celebrate the death of slavery. May 1st, the first Decoration Day, where formerly enslaved people decorated the graves of fallen Union soldiers. And finally, January 1st, 1866, Charleston's Black community celebrated the 3rd anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation. The earliest celebrations were organized by a civic organization known as the Union League. The group has since evolved into the Emancipation Proclamation Association, which is responsible for celebrations that we're going to see today and tomorrow. So remember today that we are gathered in and as our ancestors' dreams. Join the Jubilee, calling in all descendants of love and imagination, bringing the past forward and marching onward and upward to our collective emancipation. Thank you.
Time, I do want to bring forward Mr. Robert Crawford, who is the president of the Emancipation Proclamation Association of Charleston.
To God be the glory for the great things he's done. There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place. I just want to say thank you, God, for this opportunity. Bear with me just a quick moment while I get my thoughts together, because this was a great day. I don't know where to start, but I want to start by saying, first, thank you, Pastor King, for opening the doors for us to be here today. To our MC, Ms. Lori Johnson, blessings to you. Thank you for your words, and for bringing words all the way down the West Coast of Africa. To the dancers and singers, awesome job. Anyone who dance, not as good. To Amanda Jackson, blessings to you. Thank you. Reverend Ben Jenkins, my friend, God bless you. People don't know my mother and her father, grandfather were a great friend back in the day, and I just want to say thank you. To Dr. Tamara Bata, blessings be upon you. To Dr. Tanya Matthews, not only welcome to our city, you've been here a little while now. The water's starting to get better. Starting to enjoy the rice. Thank you. To my friend Andrew Caldwell in the Magnolia Singers. Wow. Every time I hear them, no matter how far we've traveled, I've been fortunate, I've been blessed. To Brother Gerald Mackey, who was taught at my high school that I attended, Charles A. Brown High School, here in the city of Charleston. Thank you. The Move Choir, John Allen, and this one and only pastor, Reverend Cade Collington. To God be the glory for the words that you brought on us today. To my brothers and sisters here today, I thank you for your attendance, for taking time out of your busy schedules. So I'm going to do something a little different right now. For those of you who have attended, I've been a part of the, well, let me say this first, my Emancipation Proclamation Committee. I'm Robert Crawford. Those of you who don't know me, I'm the president of the Emancipation Proclamation Association, Incorporated, in downtown Charleston. There are some members here. Could y'all please just stand for a minute and be recognized real quick? Now, for those of you who have attended or been a part of our annual New Year's Day parade, take a moment, please stand. If you've ever attended the parade here in Charleston, please stand. I just want to see you. For those of you who have not had a chance to attend, I'm inviting you, a personal invite, to be a part of our annual New Year's Day parade. We've been celebrating here in Charleston for 158 years. And some of you don't know, never heard of it. So I'm inviting you to come out on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Robert Crawford. Like I said, I grew up here in downtown Charleston. I'm a local guy. I've been here. I grew up on America Street in downtown Charleston. America Street. I went to Charles A. Brown High School. Back in 1970, 1971, I marched in the parade, the annual New Year's Day parade. Didn't know it was the annual New Year's Day parade, like many of you. I thought it was just a parade, and I beat the drum. I was the bass drummer. My job was to set the tempo. I'm setting the tempo, folks. Things have changed. We're going into 2024. It's a new day. It's a new drum beat. The tempo, I'm setting time. We start at 11 a.m., not 11:05, not 11:04, never 14. We start at 11:04. We step off. And we're going to have a good time. Now, we've got a variety of people who are a part of this parade. I've been fortunate enough this year to have a couple of very good friends participate as Grand Marshals this year. Many of you have heard of Katrina McLean. She's a local young lady. She attended St. Andrews High School here in Charleston. Also, we got a band or two. She's a two-time world champion gold medalist. She now coaches at Fort Dorchester High School. I want y'all to come out and acknowledge her, please. And then we have a good friend of mine who attended high school, Charles A. Brown High School in downtown Charleston. And thank you very much. And Dr. Washington is an associate professor of education and leadership at South Carolina State University. I want you to, this emancipation is more about education for me than you can understand. Look where we've come from being enslaved to now champions, doctors, lawyers, leaders in our community, musicians, blessings to one another. I've got a chance to say thank you. I got a chance to say thank you to each and every one of you for blessing me with favor. Because once again, I come from downtown Charleston, on the east side of downtown, where we believe that it ain't good thing come out of Charleston. It has. So now on Monday, on Monday, the parade begins at Burke High School, for those of you who will be attending. And I hope everyone has an opportunity to come out and bring your children, bring your grandchildren, bring your mama, bring your daddies. But don't come alone, come out together, please. We're going to move east on Fishburne Street, then we're going to turn north on Ashley Ave. We're going to go south on King Street toward Calhoun. And when we get down to Calhoun, we're going to make that left, right there by the Citadel Green. Many of you know where the Citadel Green is. Well, the first African celebrations of the Emancipation Proclamation were held right there. On that green, we had a great celebration right there. And they would take a parade actually down to the Battery. Yeah, brand new information for you. I want you to be a part of this great celebration if you can. When we leave there, we're going to head on down to Concord Street, down Calhoun, going down to Concord Street. We're going to make that right turn onto Concord, right there in front of the International African American Museum. We're going to, if you have time, pose for a picture. Remember the moment. Treasure the moment. And remember, in many ways, you say, look where I've come from. Look where I've come from. I'm proud of each and every one of you. We're going to have a short reading of the proclamation as well over on the Diaspora Park on the right-hand side. And we'll have food trucks for those of you who might still be hungry. Like I heard somebody's stomach growling just a minute ago. And we're going to have some other entertainment as well. We look forward to you being there, being a part of this great celebration. We welcome each and every one of you. I'm honored to serve as the president, and I'm blessed and highly favored. And I want you to know, as said earlier by the pastor, I'm going to tell you now while I have time, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Once again, thank you, everyone.